The name Tom Pryce might not ring a bell for everyone, as statistics alone fail to capture the essence of this extraordinary driver. On paper, his Formula One career might seem unremarkable, with only 2 podium finishes and 19 points to his name. But when you watched him drive, you knew he was special. Unfortunately, his career was cut short tragically. Tom Pryce got into motorsports a bit later than most other drivers, starting competitive racing at 20. Yet it didn't take long for this prodigious talent to shine through as he began dominating the track with remarkable ease. It was during this time that Pryce's prowess in wet conditions, a defining characteristic of his driving style, became evident. When the heavens opened, Pryce was nearly untouchable on the track. His inaugural championship, a Formula Ford title, came down to the wire in a climatic final race. Starting from the 3rd row of the grid, Pryce swiftly sliced through the competition, securing both the race victory and the championship itself with apparent ease. The rain that day only seemed to elevate his performance. In 1974, Tom Pryce entered Formula One with a small team called Token. They were one of the many small teams trying to make it big in the 1970s. Their initial foray into the sport was modest, with a vehicle ill-prepared for competition. Yet, after a non-championship event that exposed their vulnerabilities, the Token team regrouped, made crucial improvements to their car, and applied for entry into a full championship event. Tom Pryce's Formula One journey kicked off at the 1974 Belgian Grand Prix, held at the Nivelles-Bouwler circuit. Driving for the Token team, who were newbies in championship events, Pryce qualified in 20th place out of 31 starters. He was 3.03 seconds behind the pole position. In the race, he showed promise by completing 66 of the 85 laps before a collision with Jody Scheckter ended his debut prematurely. Despite being denied entry into the Monaco Grand Prix due to his limited experience, Pryce's determination shone through. He entered the Formula 3 support race for that weekend and emerged as the winner. His strong showings in Formula 2 races caught the attention of the Shadow team, and he joined them, replacing Brian Redman. Pryce's debut for Shadow took place at the Zandvoort circuit during the 8th race of the 1974 season. Unfortunately, it was short-lived due to a collision with Hans-Joachim Stuck on the first lap. In France, Pryce qualified an impressive 4th but was struck by James Hunt, ending his race early. He finally completed a race at the British Grand Prix, finishing 8th. The highlight of his season came at the German Grand Prix on the famous Nürburgring circuit, where he secured his first championship points with a 6th place finish. He rounded out the season with more top 10 finishes and a few retirements. During the off-season, Lotus explored the possibility of swapping Pryce for Ronnie Peterson with the Shadow team. While the deal didn't materialize, it spoke volumes about Pryce's talent, as Peterson is considered one of the greats in Formula One. In the 1975 season, Pryce made his mark by earning points in 5 separate races. His breakthrough came at the Austrian Grand Prix at the Österreichring, where he finished in 3rd place, showing his prowess in wet conditions. The race was so rain-soaked that it had to be stopped after just 29 laps, but Pryce's skill allowed him to keep his car on the track, solidifying his reputation as a formidable driver in challenging weather. That same year, Tom Pryce's Formula One journey continued with a series of strong performances. He secured points in races in Belgium, Italy, the Netherlands and Germany. The German Grand Prix held a particularly memorable moment when Pryce was running in 2nd place. However, a fuel leak in his Shadow car doused him in hot fuel, causing burns and temporarily blinding him. Despite this harrowing ordeal, Pryce's determination led him to finish the race in 4th place. His incredible bravery earned him the Joe Siffert Award, a testament to his indomitable spirit in the face of adversity. Overall, 1975 proved to be a successful year for the Welsh driver. The following year, 1976, began on a high note as Pryce clinched a 3rd place finish at the Brazilian Grand Prix. However, his ability to earn points dwindled as the season progressed. Regulatory changes hampered the competitiveness of the Shadow team's car, limiting Pryce to only 2 more point-scoring finishes. Despite this, he maintained his reputation as a consistent and quick driver, consistently finishing within the top 10. By the time the 1977 season rolled around, Shadow faced financial difficulties that had already plagued them in the previous year. Shadow had never been among the wealthiest teams, making their 1976 campaign challenging. Further rule changes were implemented, but the team lacked the financial resources required to adapt their car to the new regulations. That same year, Pryce's teammate, Jean-Pierre Jarier, left to join another team, ATS. Renzo Zorzi replaced Jarier, and Zorzi brought some financial support to the team. With severe financial constraints, the car used in the 1977 season represented only a marginal improvement over the previous year's model. Zorzi managed to secure a point at the second race of the season in Brazil, mainly due to the misfortunes of other competitors involved in accidents or experiencing breakdowns. Pryce, astonishingly, found himself in second place with only 7 laps remaining, but his engine gave out, dashing his hopes of a podium finish. The Shadow team, once a formidable force in Formula One, faced more challenges as the 1977 season drew to a close. The season's climax unfolded at the Kyalami circuit in South Africa, but little did anyone know that it would mark Tom Pryce's final race. Qualifying in 15th place, Pryce had worked his way up through the pack, battling with drivers like Stuck and Lafitte in the midfield. Pryce's teammate, Renzo Zorzi, encountered a setback when the fuel meter in his car malfunctioned, forcing him to pull over on the start-finish straight on lap 21. As Zorzi tried to exit his car, a minor fire broke out, leading him to hurry out. Track marshals swiftly reacted to extinguish the fire, but the race continued at full speed, a decision that would prove to be perilous. The straight where Zorzi's incident occurred had an upward slope for its initial half and then descended for the latter half. Crucially, the precise location where Zorzi's car had halted was just beyond the crest of the hill. Consequently, the drivers racing down the track remained oblivious to the marshals approaching from the opposite direction. Stuck, who was ahead of Pryce, spotted the two marshals at the last possible moment and swerved just in time, narrowly avoiding a collision. Pryce, however, had no chance to react. He collided with the second marshal, Jansen van Vuuren, at an estimated speed of 170 miles per hour. Van Vuuren, a young marshal only 19 years old, tragically lost his life in the impact. The severity of the collision left Van Vuuren with injuries so profound that he couldn't be identified after the crash. As fate would have it, Van Vuuren, while running onto the track, carried a hefty 40-pound fire extinguisher. This burden caused him to stumble and fall just moments before Pryce's car collided with him. The impact sent the fire extinguisher hurtling through the air, striking Pryce's head with tremendous force. The blow was catastrophic, tearing Pryce's crash helmet off and leading to his instantaneous demise, a collision so brutal that it severed the helmet's chin strap. Tragically, Pryce's car continued its forward trajectory, ultimately colliding with Jacques Lafitte's vehicle as they entered the first turn, known as Crowthorne. Lafitte, initially unaware of the unfolding tragedy, exited his car in a state of fury. It wasn't until he reached Pryce's car that he grasped the horrifying events that had transpired. Tom Pryce was just 27 years old at the time of his untimely passing. The accident sent shockwaves throughout the racing community, uniting drivers, teams and fans in their shared grief over the loss of two individuals who had both been fervently dedicated to the world of racing and displayed exceptional talent in their respective roles. In the wake of this tragic event, the FIA, the governing body of motorsport, took swift action to enhance safety measures within the sport. One significant measure was the mandate for all participants to wear helmets and fireproof jackets, a crucial step towards safeguarding the lives of drivers and track personnel. The incident also emphasized the importance of having well-trained and qualified marshals and track workers capable of handling unforeseen and perilous situations. Their preparedness and rapid response can make a significant difference in mitigating the consequences of accidents. Tom Pryce's untimely passing left a profound impact on those who knew him, especially his wife, Fenella, whom he married in 1975. Their marriage marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life, and sadly, just 2 years after that joyous occasion, Tom Pryce was laid to rest in the churchyard of St. Bartholomew's, the same place where he had exchanged vows with Fenella. In Wales, where Pryce hailed from, his legacy lives on through the establishment of the Tom Pryce Award. This prestigious honour recognises individuals or organisations based in Wales that have made significant advancements in automotive engineering, motorsport or transportation in general. It stands as a tribute to Pryce's lasting influence on his homeland. Tom Pryce's passing left behind a multitude of questions about the heights he might have reached in his racing career. His untimely departure paved the way for Australian driver Alan Jones to step into the role at Shadow, and Jones would go on to achieve remarkable success, including winning a race and becoming the world champion with Williams 3 years later. One can't help but wonder about the alternate trajectory that Tom Pryce's career might have taken. Could he have become one of the prominent figures of the late 1970s and early 1980s in the world of motor racing? Might his name have been mentioned in the same breath as legends like Lauda, Andretti, Scheckter and Villeneuve? These are the tantalising what-ifs that linger in the world of Formula One, forever associated with Pryce's legacy. Now, after hearing all this, what are your thoughts about this tragic weekend? Let us know what you think in the comments down below.